5, 4, 3, 2,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Finally, hello. Welcome to America House in Odessa.
America House Odessa. Дуже дякуємо вам, що ви приєднуєтеся. І насправді ми
Thank you for joining us. We are incredibly happy to be together with you at last. But let's start with the words of welcome and introduction.
Мене звати Вікторія, і я програма.
So my name is Victoria. I'm the program manager of the American House Odessa. And now let's check our settings, Wi-Fi settings, and everything else. And I really hope I wasn't muted all the time. If somebody's watching us and it's okay, please leave a like or leave a comment so that I'm sure that we are all together now. By the way, you can use the comment section to share thoughts, ideas, to talk together, and to leave your questions that we'll be answering tonight. But let's get to the main point. Let's take off now. So the flight was normal, but where are we? Are we on Mars? Have we been teleported to Mars? Dear friends, without your help, I won't do. So please, if you know the physical address, if you know our whereabouts, please leave a comment. I'm certain that the Odessa residents have been tracking and following us and know the answer to the question. But I remember a saying, a small step for a man, but a great leap for the humanity. Someone used to say that. And they say that the American House is just a space of opportunities. If we had an expert who could have seen Earth, who would tell us everything about our place in universe, let's resort to the real expert.
Are you here? Can you hear us? Please clarify the situation.
Hello, America House Odessa. We have liftoff. Thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of this. My name is Kevin Kriegel. I'm a retired U.S. astronaut and space shuttle commander. I had the pleasure of flying 4 times on STS-70, 78, 87, and 99. On STS, spent a total of about 53 days in space. On STS-87, I had the pleasure of flying with Ukrainian hero and my good friend, Leonid Katanyuk. His book is behind me. And I just think what you're doing with the Odessa House, working on technology, education, research, and science in an international environment is just outstanding. Because space is an area which affects all of us. I like to point out is 1980, when I started off as a pilot in the Air Force, my job was in England. I was in a NATO aircraft in an F-111, and my job was, if necessary, go attack Warsaw Pact country. Leon at the time was a MiG-21 pilot. His job was to try to shoot me down. 17 years later, we flew together in friendship, doing many experiments, some collaborative American-U.S. experiments to work for the betterment of humankind. How cool is that? When you're floating above the Earth, traveling around at 5 miles per second, go around the world in 90 minutes, you look down at the beautiful Earth at night, you see the layer that protects us. It's about 50, 60 miles up. Oxidized oxygen and sodium. It looks gray to me in space, but in pictures you'll see it's green. That's what keeps the harmful rays of the sun from harming life on Earth and also protects the oxygen. Without that, there would be no life on Earth. So we're really on a spaceship Earth. And we have to learn how to protect that planet. And traveling around the planet, I can't see where the United States starts and Canada ends. You can't see where Ukraine starts and Russia ends. We are all one human race. And working together in the peaceful environments of space is just incredible. It's a neutral ground, and it promotes peace and understanding. So I want to thank you all for giving me time to open this up. And last thing I just want to point out for you new folks getting into technology and space, this is my patch from my last mission, STS 99. And you look at it, there's stars around each one of our names. It's a secret. You won't see it in the description. The stars represent our children. Like by my name, there's 4 stars. You'll see 1 star by the name Voss. Janet didn't have any kids. We added that star rising above the horizon to represent the children and the future of all the peoples on Earth. So for all you young folks who want to get us back to the moon, get us to Mars, on STS 99, that's your star. Thanks for inviting me to talk.
And thank you so much, Kevin. Насправді, американський дім – це ми.
Indeed, America House is us. It's you and your friends, your colleagues, your partners.
Звичайно, що ми дім, тому
And
що
surely
можна відчувати
it's our house because that's where our home is. That's where we feel at home. That's where we can be free. And whether we are in a real virtual space, no matter, we can still get to meet each other. The main thing is that we can learn more about each other, we can inspire each other, and we can create something together. If you're interested in American culture, or if you'd like to improve your English and go to the States, if you like to travel, if you're into movies, if you're raving about music or culture, we're here for you. Or let's say you are looking to launch an innovative social startup and you're looking for partners. We are there for you as well. I'd like to give the floor to the people who are supporting us in the endeavor. Walter Brunova, Counselor for Public Affairs, Education and Culture from the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine, and later on to Olga Prokhorova, Country Director for IREX Ukraine.
All right. Thank you, Vika. Добрий день. Так як Vika сказала,
As Victoria was saying, I'm Walter Brunova, and I work at the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv. And today I'm very, very happy to be with you to launch online the new platform of American House in Odesa.
Again, thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I'm so excited to be part of the online launch for America House Odesa. Although we're here to launch America House Odesa, it's true, this is also part of a bigger celebration where we are really commemorating 30 years of friendship between the United States and Ukraine, and more importantly, the people of the United States and Ukraine. A huge part of U.S. foreign policy is investing in people. We really believe that's the cornerstone of our relationship with any other country. Like Kevin said, from space, you can't see borders. You can't see, the differences between our nations. And I think it's so important that we invest in one another and that we grow the bonds that exist between our two countries. And that's what we're going to do in Odesa. Just like we've done here in Kyiv, we're launching a huge effort to have America House Odesa as a place where people can come together and build those stronger bonds. Now, how? We like to call it the 3 E's, looking at education, employment, and entrepreneurship. We really believe that by building on these 3 values, we'll be able to make the connections between our countries stronger today and into the future. So how exactly? Well, when it comes to education, America House Odesa is going to be equipped with state-of-the-art technology. It's going to be a place where we can invest in emerging leaders and strengthen the ties between our countries so that young people can be innovative, improve their English, and really build cultural bridges. Second, we envision America House Odesa as a place where it can thrive as a cultural center, designed to connect people in Odessa and further afield to the people of the United States. In promoting education, again, people will have an opportunity to learn about American universities, discuss academic integrity, and obtain critical thinking skills. And perhaps most exciting, we envision America House Odesa as a place that's very entrepreneurial as well. We see it as a place where people can come and look for partners. Employers can come and look for people to work in businesses in new and innovative ways, but also people can start their own businesses, take advantage of the innovation and the innovative spirit of the Ukrainian people, and create new ideas. Be activists, create wealth, create new ventures that people can help themselves and others thrive. So I really believe that America House Odesa is going to be an important part of the community in Odessa, something that we're really proud to contribute to. And as we look at the last 30 years of relationship between the United States and Ukraine, we hope that the next 30 years and the next 30 years after that are only going to get bigger and bigger. We'll be investing in America House Ukraine here in Kyiv, here in Odessa, very shortly in Lviv, and perhaps a few other locations. We'll see. Побачимо. And with that, I also want to thank IREX, our partner in running America House and keeping it going. And of course, the very talented staff and creative teams at America House here in Kyiv, in Odessa, and in all of our American spaces throughout Ukraine. With that, I wish everyone a great day. I'm so happy to be a part of the online opening of America House Odessa. Дякую. Slava Ukraini. And over to you, Olga.
Great. Thank you very much, Walter. Dear guests, friends, and colleagues, we are so excited to celebrate an online launch of an America House in Odessa today. This is the second America House that we are proudly launching. IREX has been supporting America House in Kyiv since 2015. And since this time, we have achieved numerous successes. We have implemented nearly 4,000 programs that focused on cultural diplomacy, diversity and gender inclusivity, creative entrepreneurship, career development, reform promotion, space, technology, ecology, and media. And the list of topics goes on and on and on. As you can see, we have hosted former astronauts, we have invited famous rappers. We've done amazing, amazing things. Also in Kyiv, we welcomed over 120,000 individuals who visited us in person, as well as over 460,000 individuals who joined us in the online format. So we look forward to having the same reach and impact in Odessa. Вітаю! Слава Україні!
Thank you so much for this kind and inspirational words. And we believe with this support, America House will become just a huge universe of all and different kinds of opportunities. But still, I have a few questions. Але ж яка місія нашого шаттлу?
So what's the mission of this shuttle? What will be happening here on board? And that's what we're going to hear from the Commander-in-Chief and the Director of the America House in Odessa, Marina Honcharenko. The floor is yours. Thank you, Victoria. I hope I've unmuted myself. That was my greatest fear, that I won't remember to unmute myself. but I think everything is fine. You can hear me, hopefully. You can see me. If not, please leave something in the comments. And finally, we can talk about American housing in Odessa. As the news that the America House is launching in Odessa has been circulating in Odessa community for over a year. And this is our first opportunity to talk about what the American House will be doing in Odessa, what are the plans for the future, and to field some of your questions. So everything you wanted to know about American House Odessa, but you were afraid to ask. Well, let's start from the beginning. If you go to the official website of America House Odessa, you will find a definition right there. It's extensive. I'm not going to read it out, but the key thing to take away is that the America House is a space. It's a space of opportunity. It's a physical space and it's also an online space. America House Odessa is a key resource about American culture. It's a key educational resource about American education and the presence of Odessa in America in Odessa. It's an open platform for collaboration built around shared values by the States and Ukraine. So these are the key takeaways about America House in Odessa. As every institution, we have to have our vision. And our vision is formulated as America House. Dreams of independent and democratic Ukraine with robust economic, scientific, educational, and cultural ties to the United States. And we will contribute to achieving this vision because we invest in the new leaders and strengthen ties between Ukrainians and Americans. I think I've said a lot of important big words. And if we get grounded, and leave the big words, but look at the practical dimension, we have to say that America House comprises three elements. That's a space. First and foremost, it can be physical or virtual. But let me first speak about the physical space. It's a space which reflects the values that we hold dear. It's flexible, it's functional, it's interactive, it's accessible, both in the physical sense and in the financial sense. All the facilities of America House Odessa are free for everyone. It's a technological space. So in our future space, that I'm going to say more a bit later, we'll have a technology corner, a certain space where you'll be able to enhance your technological skills or do a technological prototype of your idea. And the America House Odessa space in our city is there. Some of you have already been there, some of you have seen it, but I love announcing the address of the site. That's downtown. It's Hraitska Street 1A, and we are beginning to gather our allies and sharing this space for events. And on the photo right behind me, you can see one such event. In August, we were the partner location for the Festival of ideas in Odessa. But America House is not just a space, it's about people. It's a space for the people. And that's the most important component. We are open for everyone. Our target audience is very vast. We are very open. We have very few limitations. Everyone who shares our values, who strives to develop himself or herself, everyone striving for a new democratic Ukraine. You are all welcome in America House Odessa.
Okay, and America House is the space for the people where they have the opportunity to develop themselves, to grow through events, through interesting events, through developing events, educational events, educational training programs, grow through cooperation opportunities. And how does that work? I will tell you in a bit based on the examples of our colleagues from the America House in Kyiv, whose experience we are following by and large. And we will be doing this in the America House in Odessa already, or we're already preparing some of these activities for you. What does everyone expect usually from the America House? First of all, speaking clubs, English language, something focusing on the development and improvement of English language skills. And such events are going to happen in the America House in Odessa. And here we're not only talking about traditional speaking clubs with native speakers or some activities for improvement of English language, but also some original and creative formats in English. For example, book club in English, or sessions in creative writing in English. Next step are cultural events. These are various events that one way or another are connected with life, cultural life of the United States, history of the United States, thematic parties, Halloween or 4th of July or Christmas or Thanksgiving. These are concerts, performances, poetry readings, film screenings. So we have a broad spectrum present here, and it will be present in America House in Odessa. Furthermore, heavy guns come in. Training programs for entrepreneurship. We are talking about incubator programs, not just trainings in entrepreneurship, although that is also important, not just meetings with interesting speakers and entrepreneurs, but you also have a chance to develop your project from the idea to the implementation and get some support. This will be our key focus, although we'll have workshops, trainings, presentations, everything will be present here in the program line of the America House in Odessa. All of these things will be done, and we're already doing this thanks to our partners, both on the U.S. side and, well, first of all, that's the U.S. Embassy, the Fulbright program, USAID, Peace Corps, all the programs that are supported by the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine, the alumni of these programs, local and international NGOs, Ukrainian government is going to be supporting that as well. Professional associations will provide support. We're open for a broad spectrum of partnerships for everyone who's sharing our values, our vision and mission in Ukraine and in the regions. However, let's go back to America House Odessa. to the things we're doing now, things we're planning to do in the nearest future. We're currently focusing on partnerships. We're now focusing on events at external platforms. On the 25th of September, we would like to invite you to a jazz festival in Odessa, and the support of America House will bring famous sax player Bogdan Humenyuk to Odessa from Kiev. And we're preparing some events for Odessa audience where you already see lots of information materials in various pages about the US. And we're discussing all of this because our physical space at the moment is functionally limited. We still need to bring it up to the standards of an America House. So now this is a bit of an announcement. So this will be the zoning scheme of our future physical space of the America House in Odessa. So we are preparing it now. And in January 2022, we will launch the full-fledged, physically renovated space of America House Odessa. So please follow us in the social media. Sign up to us on Facebook and on Instagram, and you will be the first to know when you can invite us for a physical opening. And we will have a big party. I already want to come to America House. A lot of people already want to join our community, and they have a lot of questions. The most popular questions include these. English language in American House. Is it going to be there? Sure. What about co-working? Yes, we will have a co-working. Last question. Will we have offline events? Yes, we will, as soon as we finish the renovation. And since we started answering questions, you may remember we announced a competition in the social media for the most interesting questions regarding America House in Odessa. And by way of summary, I have to pick up my phone and read the names of the winners. So our winners will get eco bags from America House, branded with America House. I think I have one of these, and they're really cool. You can see them from the top, but inside they're really, really cool. So the most interesting question on Facebook page was asked by our reader, Ludmila Kuzmina-Holt. She's asking, will we be having movie shows in original? I think so, yes. Of course we will be. This is the one of the line activities of America House. You're getting one of those bags, Ludmila. Thank you for this question. Another winning question from America House page on Instagram. Valeria Hesse asked my favorite question. Are you planning to organize events like community service that have such an important event for the American society? It's about giving and contributing to society that you live in. This is an amazingly wonderful question. So the answer is, of course, yes, because America House, like I said, on numerous occasions, and I am ready to repeat this 150,000 times over and over again, America House is working with the community and for the community. Therefore, yes, we will have such activities, and Valeria will contact you and get you one of those super bags. And the last winning question is the question from Stories on Instagram. By the way, that was the channel with the most original questions. Nobody sees them in the stories, so everybody is very open and sincere there. And here's what we've picked. If you had to describe your activity in one word, what would it be? Community. Correct. Community is what we are working for. The author of this,
Ми вас
Bogdan
вітаємо.
Ivanchenko. Bogdan, if you can hear us, please contact us. A present is waiting for you. So I think we're done with questions. However, what do we focus on? What should you expect in the America House? We asked the action.
Я дуже чекаю відкриття американського дому в Одесі, тому що це осередок американської культури. А американська культура – це дуже цікаво. Це фільми, це вечірки, це спікери, це астронавти. І я дуже сподіваюся, що в Одесу це все привезуть.
Я искренне верю, что город делают люди. Одесса полна талантов, и мне бы хотелось, чтобы America House стал площадкой, которая поможет раскрыть потенциал молодых, классных и креативных одесситов.
Я особисто дуже радий тому, що у нас відкривається в Одесі американський дім. Інтересу в місті до американістики, до Америки дуже багато. І я думаю, що цей новий центр інформаційний має послужитися тим, щоб одесити більше дізналися про Америку. І особисто збираюся приймати в цьому активну участь.
Я рада тому, что американский дом открывается в Одессе. Я работаю над тем, чтобы обучать и развивать подростков современным технологиям, учитывая тренды и потребности. Поэтому я считаю, что американский дом может активно содействовать в этом направлении.
Сподіваюся, що завдяки створенню американського дому в Одесі ми зможемо будувати спільноту свідомих людей, які будуть поширювати демократичні цінності та будувати системні партнерства між організаціями, які будуть створювати потужні проекти, які будуть змінювати місто.
Ментальне здоров'я – дуже нагальна тема у сучасному світі. Я вірю, що тут, в America House, я знайду спільнодумців, з якими ми ще ширше зможемо популяризувати цю тему для всієї України.
Я радий відкриттю американського дому в Одесі, тому що це створює освітні можливості, які формують громадянське суспільство та роблять різницю у ньому.
Я рада, що в Одесі відкривається американський дім, тому що бачу в цьому можливості для розвитку здорового інклюзивного суспільства і обміну досвідом з американськими інклюзивними проєктами.
Відкриття американського дому в Одесі є важливим, адже це гарна нагода для місцевих музеїв відкритись для американської експертизи та обміну досвідом.
Радію відкриттю нового інноваційного та креативного простору в Одесі американського дому. Ще більше можливостей для технологічних підприємців, креативної молоді, студентів. Долучайтеся та досліджуйте простір разом.
Я вірю, що нам важливо розвивати поважне ставлення до різних думок і людей. І я вірю, що America House в Одесі якраз допоможе нам в цьому.
Счастлива, что в родной Одессе открывается американский дом. Искренне верю и надеюсь, что это будет то место, где люди найдут классные новые знакомства и возможности. Welcome to Odessa, America House.
Отож, друзі.
So, dear friends, we're open. Hooray. Let's welcome, let's congratulate the America House with the successful launch. Our space journey has only just begun. So people, are you ready to take over? Sure, we are. Welcome.